Hey, what's up? It's the last baseball slate of the year for the show. I guess we've only been doing this for a couple of months, haven't we? But still, it's our last show together. Title, JT. We might come back with some playoff shows. Who the hell knows? But Title's right there. JT's right there. Title. This is going to be a wild slate tonight, man. This is really it. And I was telling you beforehand, I will not play this weekend. It is going to be a total cluster. I mean, do we have any plays tonight that we can feel really confident about? Team stacks, pitchers. You have any confidence in anything tonight?
Yeah, so it's a unique slate. 10-gamer on Draftkings, 9 on FanDuel. We have some good pitchers up top, but some of the good pitchers, their teams have already clinched. So maybe they get pulled an inning before they usually would or something. So there are definitely more unknowns. I'm not playing cash games today. Done playing cash games for the regular season just because there are more unknowns than we usually know. So pitching, there's a couple guys that I like, and I do feel as comfortable as you can be on this slate. Won't be punting too far down below. I won't be going under Uquiddy. So 7.1s as far as I'll go today at pitcher. No need to punt. And then on hitters, we have one clear spot. The Braves are in a tier of their own, in my opinion, a total of 6. So I think that'll be the chalk.
All right, what about you there, JT? What are some of the thoughts you got on tonight's slate?
Yeah, I think, and we've been seeing it all week, right? I mean, we saw it a couple of nights ago with the top pitchers being pulled early. Max Fried the other night, ball hit off him kind of weakly, and Snicker was like, you know what, I'm not going to chance this because he's their ace. He's all they got, the Braves, right? I mean, the Braves are basically going to be hoping to hit some bombs and pray to get through the playoffs here. But tonight, I think you'll see the same thing. I think it's a night where I'm going to be a little bit more cautious about paying up to the 10K range. Love the talent that's there, right? Love the talent in you and Kershaw, even Dinelson Lamet. Am I going to go there if I know that, like, for instance, Roberts, and last night I had some Walker Buehler thinking he threw a 90-pitch simulated game over the weekend. Maybe he gets to 75, 80, 5 innings, 6. He got pulled after 4. I'm not going to touch Kershaw tonight, right? I'm definitely not going to touch him. I'm looking at you and I'm like, I don't know. That price on DraftKings, 10-8, you don't need it tonight, right? I don't think you're going to get the type of performance out of him that you need for 10-8 because where are the Cubs going to benefit? It's just seeding now, and a lot of these teams don't have a lot to go. So I agree with Title. It's going to be the Braves are in one of the best spots. I think there's a couple other teams based on some pitchers' recent BABIP that I'm looking at. Mitch Keller, I'm looking at you. Where maybe the opposite will go the opposite direction on some of this chalk. And if you say Kikuchi is going to be chalk in his last start of the year, I've got to have some interest in the Oakland A's. I mean,
that was just Gary speaking. Gary, he's not. I don't think that's right.
No, I just looked at him showing that he's by projections he's showing to be the second highest point per dollar pitcher. And, there are going to be people who aren't going to look past that and say, but wait a second, this guy sucks, and it's his last start of the year. So we'll see. It's going to be an interesting night.
I just want to give a shout out to some of these guys in the chat because they've been grinding with us the whole time. Steve Anthony, my balls is hot. Really? That's the first time I've seen him in here, but I'll get it.
He's in here. He's a stud.
No, okay, he's been in here.
Okay, what up? My balls is hot. I mean, you're not the only one. Nick Sorrell, Squatch Happens, John Dunn. John, what do you mean I'm playing tonight? I'm not playing this weekend. I'm not doing it, man. I'm sorry. I don't want to waste money. There's too much crap going on this weekend. Teams are out of it. Taxi squad players. What a debacle. All right, give me your little pool here in pitchers, Title. All of them. Like, first of all, how big is your pool and who are the guys?
So my pool's bigger than it usually is. I agree. Kershaw is a fade for me. I'm not going to have any Kershaw. The two guys up top I'm gonna have some Yu Darvish. The price tag is up there, and I just think we're gonna see a lower number of points from our pitchers than we usually do because I think all their leashes might be a little shorter. So I don't think Yu's gonna be 7 innings, 12 strikeouts, but even 6 innings, 8 strikeouts could be enough today. So I like his safety. I'm gonna have some Yu. Carrasco's another guy. I love his matchup against Pitt. You get a 400 price decrease. from Darvish, and he's just in a great spot today. I expect 6 innings. I don't think he'll be on too much of a pitch count, so he has a good upside in his matchup. Chris Bassett, 7.9K against Seattle. That's just a misprice. He's too cheap. He allows you to get more Braves bats, and he's in a great spot. So he's the other one. Then the last guy I'm going to mention is Jose Urquidy at 7.1K. I like picking on Texas. I don't think he's going to have too much of a pitch count. Usually he's hovering around the 90s, which is fine for 7.1K. I don't expect him to only go 4 innings or something like that. So those are the 4 I'm really keying in on. And then do we know yet who's pitching for the Padres? If it's Paddock or Lamet?
Yeah, I don't have a pitcher yet.
I'm seeing Paddock now, but
I thought it was Paddock.
Yeah, I'm seeing Paddock now. So
I don't know.
All right, yeah. And then if it is Paddock and that's confirmed, I have some interest in Paddock as well because he's 8.8K against the Giants, and he definitely has strikeout stuff. So my pool's 5. It's bigger than usual, and I'll just be mixing and matching them in a couple tournament lineups. I'm not doing cash, like I said, so it's definitely a bigger pool than usual for me.
All right, JT, how are you attacking this with pitching? How many pitchers are in your pool, and who are they?
Yeah, I like Carrasco tonight. Pittsburgh exploded for their, runs of the week yesterday during the day slate, which was nice because I was on them. So that was good. But I like Carrasco tonight. Paddock, the one thing to keep in mind, that's a 7-inning game. 8.8K for Paddock in a 7-inning game. I don't know how I don't know if I can do that.
Do you expect them to get when you don't expect them to go 8 or 9? It's only a better chance of a win, right? It's in his hand.
Yeah, but look, if this was last year's Chris Paddock against last year's Giant team, sure, I'd have some interest. This year's Chris Paddock has been a guy that I rarely want to play. And based on his results, he's actually been a little bit too expensive. An 8-8 in a 7-inning game, I think I'm going to say no. I think I'm going to say no to that one. The Tigers, they just exploded last night and the night before. I like Brad Keller at 7-4. I think you're expecting 5 or 6 innings, but I think I might look to him against the Tigers tonight. I agree on the Urquidy call. I think, a lot of us, I played some Texas last night, and I didn't play Christian Javier. And even though we gave up a couple of runs, we learned all over again why we haven't been playing Texas this year. And I just don't see a reason to shy away from Urquidy. You is the tough one for me, to be honest, just because that 10-8 price, I'm looking at where I can find the value that might match that. And I'll be honest, I was just doing some research this afternoon. Jose Barrios is a guy who I don't play on the road. He had a bad game the last game out on the road. At home against a team, yeah, they've got a lot of lefties, but they haven't exactly been tearing the cover off the ball a whole bunch recently against Cincinnati. That's a guy that I'm going to look at. And then I agree that Bassett's probably in play. And that's about it. It's tough. I think on paper, you look and you say, oh, there's a bunch of guys who might do well. And then you think about the limitations that they're going to have and what you can really expect. And it shrinks that pool pretty considerably.
So I got a question for you,
yeah.
JT. Who do you rank the top 5 you think for the chalkiest for ownership? If Kikuchi's 2, I'm wondering who he's over.
Give me 2 minutes and I'll go to where I get my projections from, and I'll tell you what I see there.
Cool, because I plan on having no Kikuchi at all.
No, I don't. Again,
it could be wrong for sure.
Yeah, we could always be wrong, but I think the reason why people are looking at him is one, price, he's 6'4". 2, he's overrated. You generally play him at home and he's on the road. He had a ceiling game earlier this season against Oakland. Do I believe in any universe that he repeats that performance? No.
All right, so you guys are both on Urquidy, and then there's some pitchers that are a little higher up. Good stuff. Hit the like button if you want, guys. You know what it is. You've been in here forever. And ladies, if you're any ladies out there, say hey to us. I'm just going to tell you right now, deal with this because I'm going to just give shout-outs to everybody in the chat because I think you guys are awesome. Thank you, Squatch Happens, and Redman, and Ryan, and Bono, and Nick Sorrow, and Brandon, and, of course, Uncle T's in here today, and Dano. You guys are just awesome. Thank you so much for watching us. You're the reason why we do this anyways. Okay, enough of the mushy shit. Let's move on to some plays here. Offensively, we start with Miami and the Yankees. I know Title is a big fan of Joey Work now because Joey Work, he got him a little money the other night. If it wasn't last night, 2 nights ago. Joey Work has the Marlins on the board today. He likes the Marlins against the Yankees least the first 5. What do you got in this game here? Any offense on either side?
Well, it turns out, funny story of that. I go to check my bet slip expecting to win, and I see the Giants rolled out a opener for an inning before they brought in Webb. And anytime in my book, if the 2 starting pitchers that I bet on don't actually start the game, the bet's automatically voided. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to win money on that. But hey, Joey gave up. Yeah, they voided it. So I don't know. I don't know if it was just my book or whatever, but it was a winner nonetheless for the people. But I'm not on Joey Work's side on this one today. I like the Yankees quite a bit. They have a good total at 5.6. The thing is, their prices, they're not the best for certain people, but Stanton at 4.8K and Aaron Hicks in the 3-hole at 3.9K. Way too cheap for both of them for their upside. Hicks is a core play for me. Too cheap in the outfield. Stanton too cheap. But Judge, I'm not paying 5.7K for Judge against Alcantara. Alcantara is not someone I love to pick on in full stack. I just like picking out certain bats against them, and the 2 that really stand out are Stanton and Hicks that I'm going to be prioritizing. But you can always you can always stack the bottom of the order in this lineup in tournaments because they're always so good. They have guys that would be at the top of the order on other teams, and they're always way lower owned than the top of the order.
Okay, so what do you think, JT? You on the Yankee side tonight?
I don't mind the Marlins. J-Hap is coming off a ceiling game, 8 innings, 9 strikeouts against the Red Sox. I never expected in September this year to be saying that the Marlins are substantially better than the Red Sox. But guess what? The Marlins are substantially better than the Red Sox, and in particular against left-handed pitching. So I kind of like that call a little bit. I like some Marlins tonight. I don't know how heavy I'll be on them, but definitely not scared about J-Hap. And then Alcantara, he had a pretty good start against the Yankees in the preseason in one of his last starts. He went 5 innings, gave up 1 earned run. At 6'8", the Yankees aren't someone we normally target against, so I probably won't do it. But, the question is, how long is Alcantara going to go? And if he's only going to go 5, because the Marlins are going to be in the playoffs, if he's only going to go 5 and you get 3 to 4 innings of that Marlins bullpen, that makes the Yankees interesting.
Very interesting. Okay. I like it. I like where your head's at here. A little bit different. You got to think differently in GPPs. Pittsburgh and Cleveland. Let's just stay with you here, JT. Cookie Carrasco, you like him, so we're going to fade the Pirates probably. You want to attack Keller with this Indians lineup? There's a few batters here that look like they could have a nice night.
Yeah, Keller is he's a good prospect. He's coming off his best start of the year. Everybody knows who watches this. I love to target pitchers coming off their best performance they could have because they almost always regress, even if it's slight. So I'll have no interest in Keller, and I might take a look at some of these Cleveland bats.
What about you, Mr. Titletown?
I have a little bit of interest in Cleveland. The bats that stick out, like the Ramirez and Lindors, they're 5.6 and 5.4K. I probably won't find myself up there too much unless I am full stacking them. If you're full stacking them, you want Lindor and Ramirez for sure. But I'm probably going to take more of mini stacks like Carlos Santana. He's been too cheap all year. He's 4K. He's in the 4-hole. I don't mind that price. And then we always got Big T's guy, Tyler Naquin. He's 3K in the 6-hole, and he's got pop. So those are the 2 that stick out for the value side. I'll have Lindor and Ramirez if I'm full stacking it, but that's it.
Okay, pretty quick, pretty easy, pretty simple. We'll move on to the Padres and the Gigantes. So the Giants now, do they not have the lowest implied total out? It's under 3.
It's a 7-inning game.
Yeah, why bother then, right? Are we bothering with this? You like Paddock, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not touching any hitters.
JT?
It's on a 10-game slate when, if it was a 4 or 5-game slate or even a 6-game slate, and I thought I could get some decent leverage if I didn't like any of the other offensive spots, I'd take a look at it. Maybe a one-off, Yaz is back and Dickerson, and that's where Paddock struggles, but I just don't see a lot of interest here. And like I said, not even in Paddock, at 8.8, he's met that price once this year. So kind of a stay away for me.
I want to get you guys' thoughts on the Braves and the Red Sox. It's very trendy, and it's a good reason why to target Chris Mazza. The Red Sox pitcher today, this guy is overwhelmed in the majors. He'd be a AAA, bounce back and forth, get a couple spot starts, maybe for some long relief guy. He's not a good pitcher. He's going against this Atlanta offense, which just mowing down everybody. And on the other side, the Red Sox are not. I don't think they're in the worst spot either. Although Kyle Wright, in his last two starts, he's got going after getting completely lit up. So JT, I'll start with you on this one. Braves, Red Sox. I think there's plays from both sides. I just wonder how much exposure you're going to have to it when you throw in the prices.
Yeah, I think on the Braves side, it's not just, Chris Mazza, who's easily by the numbers, one of the bottom three pitchers on the slate. It's however long he goes, then you get that Braves bullpen. And, last night we saw them finally wave the white flag and bring in a position player at the end of that game, which was great for all of us who played the Orioles. Had a bunch of home runs, a couple of home runs, at least one, Austin Hayes, I think, off a position player. So that they're kind of just done with the season right now at this point, right? This is a year to forget for the Red Sox. And, on their side, it's we were talking earlier in Discord about, can we play Kyle Wright at 6'2"? He's been very good. The question is, do the Red Sox show up? And I think the lineup they put out, Jackie Bradley Jr. Is in the 4 hole. He may not be returning to the team next year. So I don't know that I'm probably not going to play any Kyle Wright, but I also don't know how much of the Red Sox I'm going to have. I like the Brave side of this. You can't not like the Brave side of this tonight.
Title. Y'all love the Brave side of this. Come on, Mr. Cashman.
Yeah, somebody in chat was telling me, he tagged me. He goes, Braves aren't chalk today. And if they're not, then I'm really happy, and I'm going to double my entries because they're the clear top offense for me. JT, do they look like the chalk for you?
Yeah, I think they have to be.
Because their prices aren't even that bad besides Acuna.
Yeah, they're probably normal.
Yeah, so if they're not chalk, well, they're my favorite offense for sure. Acuna is at 5.9K, but if I have the money and I have builds with Bassett, I'll be able to get Acuna, and I'll absolutely get him. Ozuna 4.9K, too cheap. Albies 5.4K, I'm even fine paying that. Dansby Swanson 4.1K is way too cheap. Duvall 4.8K. Austin Riley 3.3K. It's not even like the prices are all in the mid fives like the Yankees. So I don't see how Atlanta won't be one of the most chalky teams, but they're definitely my favorite. You can stack this 1 through 6 are the guys I'm really looking at. 7 through 9 I'm not going to have as much of unless it's Tyler Flowers at catcher and you're just filling the catcher spot in with your stack. So I like a lot of Braves. I'll have a lot of them. And as far as the Boston side, man, I was all over them yesterday. They bit me. What a fish I was.
You gave me a hard time too. You gave me a hard time. I came into Discord and I was like, no Red Sox for me. And you're like, why do you always hate my plays? Last night I said they scored the night before. They're not going to do it 2 nights in a row, in my opinion.
No, you were right. I did because the night before it was Lugo. I was the only one on Lugo. The night before I was only one on Lance McCullers. Felt like all week I was just on my own island. So enough was enough. And hey, right when I said something, I was wrong. So I'll take the L on that one for sure. But I mean, Boston's cheap if you need a one-off or something. Verdugo's 3.9K in the 1 hole. Jackie Bradley Jr. 3.4K. Christian Arroyo, second base and third base eligible at 3.4K in the 2 hole. They're cheap if you need them as a one-off, but this team they're checked out. They're ready for breaks. So I'm not going to be stacking them no more. I made that mistake yesterday.
I've got good news for you.
Let's hear it.
I don't know if it's right or wrong because sometimes these are way off. Showing the Braves 5%.
What?
My ownership projections today are way different than every site. I have Kikuchi unowned, and I have Atlanta number 1 for sure. So
Atlanta's got to be number 1. How are they not number 1? Who's making these projections? What are these?
I can't talk about that, but let's just
throw shit at the wall and see if it sticks.
No, the ones I'm looking at are ones that I use every day. That are.
I don't know, man.
I always use my brain because we've played so long, and usually I'm pretty close with some, so I'm trusting myself today.
So here's the thing, though, right? Think about it this way: if and the ones I just looked at, it did not show Kikuchi as highly owned. It showed him around 5 or 6%, which is probably 5 or 6% more than he should be owned. But if you're looking at Darvish and Carrasco as the two highest owned guys,
I think Bassett might be ahead of both of them though at 7.9.
So then you're looking at 20 to 21 on your pitchers, right? And it becomes a little harder to fit that full Brave stack.
I see your Quiddy and Bassett. Some people even playing the two together to get Braves. I don't know. It'll be interesting. Maybe we'll see how it is. We'll see. Who knows? I'm curious though. I really am now that I heard that though.
Yeah. Let me real quick. Let me just get you caught up on the weather. This is from DailyBaseballData.com. This is what I use for the weather. We got winds blowing out to right center in San Francisco at 12 miles an hour. That's pretty good tonight. If you want to take a shot in that one. Tigers Royals wind blowing out 11 miles an hour to left field. That's pretty big. It's blowing out in Minnesota 9 miles an hour tonight. We got some wind 9 miles an hour in Oakland, which I don't really think makes too much of a difference. But there's a few games here today with wind, guys. So definitely something to at least take into account as we head into this slate. All right, let's move on to our next game. That was actually a really nice debate. I enjoyed that debate about ownership with the Braves. I just don't get why it would be so low, especially at the price point. We have the Royals taking on the Tigers. Spencer Turnbull is on the mound for Detroit, the Tigers, that is. And then Turnbull's actually coming off a nice start. He's a guy that has not been – I would say he's not been getting crushed recently, so that's good for him. I guess that's my breakdown about Turnbull. He's not getting crushed lately. And then on the other side, you're going up against Brad Keller, who we have not talked much about. He's like every other start, the guy has a good start, and then he's not going to strike anybody out. So you're not going to sit there and play him as a pitcher. But title, Detroit, and the Royals with Chiefs. Do you take them?
I don't mind some Royals. I'm not going to have any Tigers today, but some of the Royals are priced kind of fairly. They've been hitting the ball pretty well. Mondesi 4.8K, his price came down, and Witt's 5.1. And what I really like about this matchup is I think you can steal on Turnbull. Mondesi and Witt run a lot. Kansas City's been running a lot in general this year. And those 5 points on DraftKings and 6 on FanDuel are really big when you can get that stolen base. So I'm going to be picking out Witt and Mondesi. I've been pairing them with the O'Hearns of the world, who's 2.7K. 2.7K is way too cheap. You can go way up. You can full stack this team because of how cheap he is. Alex Gordon, 2.2K in the 7 hole. Franco in the 4 hole at 3.9K. These guys are just all too cheap. And if I'm full stacking the Royals, I'm definitely not forgetting about my boy Sal Perez. He's been absolutely crushing the ball, looking really good in the 3 hole, and he has a lot of upside at catcher. So you can full stack. I like this Royals team a lot in tournaments. You can full stack them, and I really like the speed up top for stolen base upside.
JT.
Yeah, I agree that the Tigers are another one of these teams where I don't think that they're going to, run very long with their starting pitchers. I think Turnbull, last start of the year, he's not going to go past the 6th if he gets that far. And this is a night to look at the bullpens, right? Let's look at the worst bullpens and who are we going to see more of? And in that instance, Detroit is clearly on that list. So I like that call. You can steal on Turnbull. Mondesi's been going crazy. Perez has been on an absolute. I mean, I played him sparingly last night because I thought there's no way he comes close to what he did the night before. And sure enough, first at bat, 3-run bomb. So he's on one of those runs that you could absolutely play some Royals tonight.
All right, very good. We'll get on to the next one with the Astros and the Rangers. See, now this one I'm kind of interested in, not from the Texas side, obviously, because of Urquidy, but look at who's going up against the Astros. Didn't Altuve just hit his first home run, like in the history of the world? I feel like he just hit his first home run finally. That happened, didn't it? Or was I just dreaming?
Oh, yeah.
It happened. Like, it was real, yeah. Well, tonight it's Kyle Cody, and Kyle Cody's coming off a fine start against the Angels. Finally lasted 5 innings. I'm not afraid of Kyle Cody. I might be afraid of playing the Astros, though. Should I be afraid? Title, you're saying yes. So you go first. Should I be afraid?
I literally just can't get this Astros team right for the life of me. Literally, it's not like whatever I do, they do the opposite. So I don't know. I'm gonna listen to what JT I do have interest, but when I have interest, I lose money. So then I don't have interest. So I don't know. JT, you can talk about it. I don't think I've got them right once this year. It's bad.
No, I listen. I think their explosion last night came as a surprise to everybody. A lot of people played Lynn. I played a bunch of Lynn.
Yeah, I played Lynn, of course. And I played the Astros the night before.
Yeah, and what's interesting is when I looked at the ownership projections, one of the reasons why I think the Braves are trending lower is because the Astros finally decided to play a game, and they're projected again 10 games, so they're projected between 12 and 14%. Which, along with Chicago, because Chicago's facing one of the worst pitchers on the slate as well, is what's bumping, I think, down the Braves. So can you go back to them? They haven't done this all year. It depends. I think last night also, it does make an amazing difference when the roof is open. I think one of our guys in Discord last night said that they've opened the roof 5 times in Texas, and each time the opposing team has scored over 10 runs. So it doesn't benefit their offense, but it benefits the opposing team's offense. So it depends a lot for me if that roof is open, because if it's not, I think there's been one game, and it was the Padres early in the season when they were just crushing everybody. Padres against Jordan Lyles is the only other game I can remember with the roof closed where there's been an explosion of runs. So I will not be going back to the Astros tonight, even though Kyle Cody is a rookie who's not going to get a long leash, and you're going to get into that bullpen. It just seems like betting on them to be the number 1 scoring team again tonight is sort of a losing proposition. But if they open the roof, then yeah, I'm going to have interest.
If they're the chalk, there's no way I'm playing the Astros as chalk.
No, I think that's right.
And one of you guys getting some swag, just hit the like button anyways. I don't even care about the number at this point. This is our last show with you guys. We'll take care of you. Just hit the like button to be nice. How about that?
Todd has to get something for that creativity, for giving us a chuckle.
Roof is open in Discord, according to Jay Reed. So get in the Discord right now. There's some hot stuff going on, I guess.
There you go.
Hot. Baba the Aqua Tot. That is hot. White Sox Cubs. Ooh, let's see here. What do you guys think about Dylan Cease? Just as a general broad overview right now. JT, where's Dylan Cease in the pitching pantheon tonight? Is he high? Is he low? Is he in the middle?
No, he's low, and it's disappointing because earlier in the year, this was a guy that I thought was going to have, take a step forward in this season. He was, promising prospect, and the White Sox had done, Giolito was the same way. They got him, the Nationals traded him over, and he was awful, and he developed into what he is now, which is one of the top 10 pitchers in the American League. He's not taking one step back. Dylan Cease has taken a staircase back, and it's been terrible. He's been absolutely awful. And all these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lefties on the Cubs, especially, they're coming from Pittsburgh, a disappointing series. They lost 3, dropped 3 to the Pirates. This could be a spot where the Cubs actually get right against a mediocre pitcher, one of the worst pitchers on the slate by the numbers this year.
Well, I'm looking at Cease here. He gave up at least 1 home run in 7 of his first 8 starts. 7 of his first 8. And then he's gone 3 games without giving up a home run, but he's also walked 12 in his last 2. So basically, guys are just going to be on base tonight, even though the Cubs offense sucks. I mean, this is like a major problem for them. They're really limping down the stretch here. Title, do you have shares of the Cubs tonight?
Cubs are my second favorite offense on the slate.
All right.
Behind the Braves. And that's, a lot to do with Cease. He's garbage. So I like picking on that. And then the Cubs prices are affordable. Rizzo, 4.3K. Ian Happ, 4.2K. Schwarber, 3.9. He's in the 6 hole, though. Contreras, 4.3K at a catcher position. He's got to be one of the highest owned catchers because 4.3K for the 3 hole and a great offense. I like that a lot. You can just Jason Hayward, 3.7K. I just top of the order is where I'm going to focus because I don't think they'll be too chalky. They're going to be one of the higher owned teams, but maybe 15%. And I'm not too worried about 15% in baseball. But I think you can stack this lineup top to bottom. I think this is a great spot. I know it's the Cubs. They haven't came through too much as chalk this year. That might keep the ownership down a little bit, but I like this offense.
All right, what about you, JT? And is there any interest And the other side of things tonight with the White Sox.
No, I don't have interest in the White Sox. I don't know that I'll be playing Darvish just because I don't know if he's going to go long enough to compete with the lower price pitchers that I think will go, 5 or 6 innings, but are at a lower price. But I definitely will have some interest in the Cubs tonight, especially in multi-entry. Don't know if I'll end up on them on my main lineups, but just because if they're going to be popular, I'm gonna take a look and see if I can find an offense that's not as popular, but definitely will be in the mix.
Okay, that's good. So I'm kind of right there with you, Title, on 1-2. There is one other team I'm really interested in finding out your thoughts, and it actually happens to be in the next game. So the Twins have burned me a lot this year, but they're going up against Mlb tonight, Tyler Mlb. We know, he's had a couple really good starts too. I wonder if the Twins are anywhere on the radar for either one of you. Yes? Are the Twins on the radar, or are we just throwing them out tonight?
So I don't mind the Twins today. There's other spots that I like a little more, but like Max Kepler, he's one of my favorite one-offs. 4K back in the leadoff hole. I always like Max Kepler, and he just feels too cheap. This whole team feels too cheap, but they're the same price as the Cubs pretty much, and I think they're going to eat away at each other's ownerships, and I just like the Cubs a little more. So it's going to be like a one-off in Kepler or Donaldson at third base or something like that, but I like the Cubs a little more today, so I'm not going to talk about them too much.
What do you think, JT? What about the Twins? And then I can't imagine there's any interest in the Reds against Minnesota outside of maybe Suarez. Eugenio Suarez has just been doing his thing.
Yeah, and Suarez is 3-4 tonight on DraftKings, which is more silly than the 3-6 he was the other night against Woodruff. So this to me, as I'm looking at it, is an important game to get right. I talked about Barrios a little bit earlier just because his price came down a little, 9-2. He's at home. But he is going to face 6 lefties, and that hasn't historically been good for him to face those left-handed batters. But it's not like the Reds are going to put pressure on him on the base paths. He really struggles when they get guys on and they start running all over the place because he doesn't hold runners on. So I have limited, like Title said, Max Kepler at 4K leadoff. Yeah, I always have nightmares of those nights where Max Kepler starts the night with a leadoff home run because there's a good chance he's going to hit 2 more, and you're going to be dead. I mean, this is kind of what he does when he gets going. But other than him, I can't say that I'm in. The Twins aren't an offense to jump off the page to me. So the decision for me is going to be: am I going to take a shot on the Reds? Or do I want to take a shot on a very low-owned Jose Barrios?
And your choice is?
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, very good. Hit the like button. We're at 54. I mean, it'd be nice to get a few more. One of you guys is getting swag anyway, so just know that. The Doyers, we're back to the Dodgers tonight, although they're going up against the lefty, and it's Andrew Heaney, so that's something to keep in mind there. And Haney's actually had a couple really nice starts. As a matter of fact, 4 of his last 5 starts, this guy's really finding his groove now. And then it's the Angels taking on Kershaw. I mean, I don't know how to handle it. The Angels, just an easy fade. Title, just say forget about him, move on. But the Dodgers, how do you handle the Dodgers then? Stay away?
Yeah, I'm going to fade both of them. I think Heaney's pretty good. He's been pretty good. Dodgers already clinched, so they're not playing for much. We don't know the lineup, and today is not one of the days where I like because I like the Cubs and the Braves. I don't want to have to wait for lineups after lock. And then if someone's not in the lineup that I thought, just be scrambling around. So I'm going to avoid this late game, and the pitchers are serviceable for sure. That there's no need for bats here, in my opinion.
What do you think there, JT?
Yeah, with Roberts, the same way that I won't play Kershaw because I have no idea what he's going to do. You could be looking at 5th inning pinch hit risk for everybody on this team. I mean, the game. I don't believe seedings in Title. Do you know if seedings in play? I think they've clinched the number 1 spot, right?
Yeah, I think they have number 1. It's Captain said in chat they're gonna throw the game so the Astros don't make the playoffs as a joke. I think he said it, but
I don't think the Angels' outcome is going to impact is going to impact the Astros and their pursuit. So this game is kind of I'm not all that interested in.
Straight fade. Is that what we're looking at here? Just fade it. What about the last one? Do you want to attack Kikuchi tonight, you Kikuchi lovers? Are we all on going against Kikuchi tonight with the A's? Because we're not bothering with Seattle, are we? I mean, Seattle's. But the A's against Kikuchi, maybe a couple righties here. Can we go with Simeon? Can we go with Piscotty? Who do you got? Anything?
Yeah, you definitely can go with the A's. The thing is, I think I'm just going to expect their lineup to be pretty normal, and their prices are good. Simeon 4.2K, Piscotty 3.6K, Canna 4.4. Whoever's really in the top of the lineup, I like the righties for sure, and I hope Kikuchi gets some ownership. And then the A's can absolutely break the slate late. I'm not going to be too overweight on them. Probably have one lineup with them just to, as a late night hammer if they get them. But I don't want all my lineups waiting for their lineup to roll out and not be what I expect and then be in the scramble that way. So I like one lineup with Oakland and then the other spots that we mentioned.
Okay. Anything else you guys want to talk about when it comes to slate, or are you just ready to get to
JT, do you like that game at all?
Yeah, I agree with you. I've actually played the Mariners a lot this year, and they've been good to me, but I don't see a reason to go back to them tonight, at least not right now. So, although Bassett is one of the guys who's on, I think he's had the second lowest batted ball in play against average over his last couple of starts. So that's something that I take a look at, but I don't know that I'll get there. I do like taking some shots on the A's.
So it looks like go for it, Holden. Well, I was just going to say, it looks like we have time. If people want to put a couple questions in chat that we can get to while we're going to discuss what you were talking about, but about the slate, about just the process in general or anything, we have a little bit of time to answer some questions on a nice last day, hang out with the people a little bit.
Sounds good. I like it.
All right, so give us the stacks, guys. Obviously, Atlanta's going to be in the mix, whether it's 1 or 2 or 3. JT, let's start with you because I know what Title's going to say. Who's your top 3 stacks?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think I'm looking right now at the Braves. I'm looking at I'm looking at the Marlins, and the third one, Cubs or Oakland, and then I've got a decision to make on that Minnesota-Cincinnati game. So those are kind of the areas where I think my offense will be concentrated. Again, like I said, if the Globe Field roof is open, then I'll take a look there as well. But I think those are the offenses that I'm most interested in, and maybe some Royals one-offs at the top of that order.
Braves, Cubs, A's. Is that correct in order, Title?
Yeah, I would have Yankees over the A's.
Yankees. All right.
Especially Hicks at 3.9. Hicks and Stanton really stand out as a mini stack there.
All right. Yeah, guys, listen. Title said it. We got a few extra minutes for you. If you got questions, damn, I don't care. Baseball, football. I don't play soccer. Is soccer going on right now in DFS? There's a big soccer thing we got here too. Like the site is killing it in soccer. So maybe I should get on that. JT, one-offs and home runs. Who are they?
Well, Suarez's price jumps out to me at 3.4. Regardless of whether or not I'm playing Barrios, I might be interested in that. Ozzie Albies in the 2-hole is nice. Very nice to have him finally back up at the top of the order. And then I'm going to give you one more. I'm going to scroll here. Yeah, I do like some of these Royals. Let's go with Ryan O'Hearn.
Royals, okay.
Ryan O'Hearn. That's a nice cheap price, 2.7. He's going to face Turnbull, who's okay, and then probably get a little bit extended run in that bullpen, which will be nice. And the captain says the Angels can make the playoffs if they win out and the Astros lose out, which makes tonight.
Not happening.
Well, let's just talk about the possibility. Let's talk about the possibility because the Astros game starts at 8:00. So. And the Angels game starts at 9:40. I mean, I don't know. I'm still not all that interested in the Angels, so I can't do it.
You're trying to make a case for him. If anything, you can make more of a case for Heaney because he's gonna if he's rolling, he's rolling, and they're gonna ride him. So
and
that's
the
only
Dodgers, despite all the talent in that lineup, the Dodgers have one of the lowest isolated power numbers against lefties. They've been susceptible to big games from lefties. I think Marco Gonzalez had a big game against them. Same guy who shut down the Astros the other night. So, yeah, I mean, well, you know what? We want to know which teams have important things to play for. So it gives you a sense there that at least Heaney and Urquidy are guys, although it's Joe Madden, you never know what he's going to do, but they're guys where if they're pitching well, they may get a longer leash. So, and Heaney's a guy who's going to be like 1% owned. He's going to be 2% owned against the Dodgers. Actually, I just got excited. Yeah.
Getting a little excited there. Getting some chubs. All right, so I think that's about it, right? If you guys want any questions, we'll get them to them right now. But so Frederick Van Riper, one more time for the Padres stack takedown tonight, guys. No, probably not.
They've had their time this year. I'm not going to it today.
Well, hold on, because at least is it still the case that Tyler Anderson is starting that game?
I see here. When we go to the next question, I think so. I think he is, yes.
Yes, he is starting tonight.
You can definitely, even though that's a 7-inning game. See, the problem is all these guys are so goddamn expensive. I guess you could look at Austin Nola or Tommy Pham. Tommy Pham at 3-6 in the 7-hole is a guy, if he hits a home run, he makes value for you. I like that call. Maybe the bottom of that lineup, Nola, Pham, and Profar as a little mini stack. Because Tyler Anderson he's not going to be able to hold this lineup down.
Jay Reed wants to know, is Willie Castro in play as a one-off?
Willie Castro is always in play. The GOAT, Willie Castro, helped me to a nice finish last night. Honestly, yeah, I think so. Against Keller. Keller's got coming off a couple of pretty good games and been a little bit luckier than he should be. So yeah, you can look to Willie. If you're desperate for salary relief, you could play Kristen Stewart at 2-1 in the 6-hole. I wouldn't do it a lot, but you could definitely do that.
Brandon wants to know, is Polanco a good one-off for the Twins tonight?
I never really found myself one-offing him, so I say no.
He's in the 7-hole. I think there's better options at shortstop.
Yeah. Frederick wants to know, you guys exclusively play 5-3 stacks, and you recommend making lineups with mini stacks and larger field GPPs? I like it's a nice game theory question. Title? What do you? Because you're not a big MME, you're not a large field GPP guy.
No, but I still stack in cash. Not a lot of people do it, but I found myself in looking at processes and everything. There's obviously baseball has correlations in stacking because your runners can be on base, you get the RBIs, the runs, and all that. And a lot of people are playing cash games now, like tournaments too, just with the chalky teams. And I found that to work the most. So baseball is a stacking sport. I'm stacking regardless if it's 4-4, 5-3. I'm stacking one team for sure, and then mini stacking from there or whatever.
And JT?
Yeah, on FanDuel, I've actually been doing 4-3s when I play FanDuel because it gives you the option of finding that one-off that you think is going to be is projected to be one of the top scorers of the night, even if they're not in one of your main teams. On DraftKings, there's a guy in chat too. Yeah, I do run a lot of 4-2-2s. I don't do a ton of 5-3s, but I'll do a naked 5 or a 5-2-1. But the 4-2s have been good to me this year, both in KBO and MLB. And then favorite outfield play, 3,800 or under, David Graves. I think we just gave you a couple. You could go with Pham. There's a couple of others. I think Jackie Bradley in the 4-hole at 3-4, and Title may have a couple.
What do you think, Title?
Yeah, favorite outfield under. What was the price?
3.8
on DK.
3.8. Well, Hicks is 3.9. Brantley's 4. I like Piscotty at 3.6 if he's in the lineup, and then Jackie Bradley's 3.4K. So those two are my favorites.
Okay. Good. A couple more here. J10. Title, you play your cash in single entries, don't you?
Yes. So I did for every sport, and then NFL and NBA, I haven't been as much because they're usually duplicated more because they're more projection based and they're more chalky. Whereas MLB, I'm usually unique, so I can throw them in GPPs to still get the unique takedown.
Okay. What was the other thing here? Oh, title. Actually, JT, let's go to you first on this. Any love for any Boston bats? Would you go Plawecki or Dalbec as one-offs?
Not Dalbec. And both those guys really do much better against left-handed pitching. So it'd be JBJ or Verdugo that Title mentioned earlier.
Chadwick Richardson, when's Big T shipping out the swag? Just hit him up on Twitter. Just bother him like tons. I don't care. I mean, worst comes to worst, he'll mute you, but I think it's a wonderful way to get through to him. He doesn't even respond to me, man. I hit him up. He doesn't even come back to me, so don't worry about it. If he doesn't get to you, you'll get your swag. The guy is coming through. He's not going to screw you over. Might take a little while, but you'll get it. Don't worry. I want a hoodie. What I need is a hoodie. I'm all about the hoodies. It's starting to get cold here at night now.
It's chilly. It's chilly, isn't it?
Yeah. Is it back on the east? It's chilly now too?
A little bit. It was a little warmer today, which was nice. But it's cool.
We're like 90 during the day and then 45 at night.
Dew on the grass in the morning. It's
dew on the grass.
Yeah.
I don't like that. No, I got a couple cactuses. That's about it.
I'm not up early enough to see any dew in the grass.
Yeah, seriously. When do you get up? Noon? Are you in
like
noon?
No, I get up lately. My body's been waking me up early because I grind MMA and MLB and all these sports. But once it's only NFL and MMA, it'll be like 10:30.
Yeah. Okay.
I saw a question earlier. Jason Tatum captain tonight. He is my favorite captain today. I think the Celtics win today, force 3-2, and after Tatum 0 points in the first half, I like Tatum a lot today.
All right, last question, guys. This comes from Nicholas. Can you recap the pitchers for FanDuel?
FanDuel, yep. I can. Let me pull it up.
Bassett is in play, right?
Yeah, Bassett is in play. The thing about FanDuel is because their pricing so soft, I usually try and pay up for safety more. But let's see. So there's 9 games. Carrasco's kind of jumping off. I just like Carrasco's matchup against Pittsburgh a lot. So 10-8, he is there. And then your Quiddy's 6.8K. And that is, you can get any bat with your Quiddy. So that's probably my favorite route in tournaments. Like I said, I'm not playing cash. Your Quiddy's my favorite. 6.8K is way too cheap, and I'll get big boy bats.
Anything, JT?
No, I do think after we talked about that Dodgers-Angels game, I may have 10 or 15% of Andrew Heaney. So that interests me a little bit as a play that nobody's going to have. But that's it.
And I see for the early, I think it's early slate, the Washington game is postponed.
Yeah, that's it. Scherzer doesn't get the start today. The shart. It's maybe he does get a shard. I don't know.
He does. You go to a steak dinner.
The Mets and the Nets. Looks like it's going to be PPD. All right, let's go pick somebody out here. You know what, Brandon Reamer? I don't know if you won yet. Let us know if you won yet. But if you're breaking news in the chat, we'll just give it to you. All right. Oh, Jisuki, Schwarber or Happ? Title, you brought both these guys up earlier. Schwarber or Happ?
I'm going Happ in the one hole.
How about you?
Yeah, same.
All right.
The leadoff guy.
Title did give his home run and off picks, and so did JT.
Mine's Max Kepler. I don't even know if I did actually. Max Kepler is the one-off, and then Max Kepler is the homer because I'm going to use Alberto Mondesi and Witt as my one-offs because I love their stolen base upside today.
Okay, so we got Brandon's a winner, and I'm doing the double today because I always call out the ladies. I'm like, if you're in the chat, come and say hi to us. Now I think Diana's a female, but Diana Musimi. You know who you are. You too. You hit up Big T on Twitter or email info@runpuresports.com. Info@runpuresports.com. See, Miami Mike and I are having a little conversation. He's like, prayers from Fort Lauderdale for everybody with cold weather. And I'm like, dude, you guys are sinking into the ocean in the next 20 years. So enjoy swimming with the fishes, buddy. I mean, Florida's done. That whole place is going to be under. And I'm not even going to cry a tear, and I got family down there. Just prehistoric animals sinking into the ocean. I mean, what a disaster. Florida man, Florida woman. Sorry, Mike. I just got no respect for your state, buddy. None.
That's harsh.
Well, it's true, though. I mean, they have alligators and, like, pangolins and boa constrictors. Seriously.
They got that man. They got that man Tyler Hero down there who's putting a king on his head. King, he's crowning himself.
All right, boys. Wonderful work here. I know baseball's short season, and we kind of started a little bit later too, as we all came on board at the same time. But it was awesome doing some baseball. I wouldn't put a fork in it yet. We haven't really come up with our playoff plans. I would not be shocked though if we have a little bit, and if we don't, then we don't. But if we do, then we do. And I also want to get out all the content. If you are playing football, oh my God. Like, I've already put 4 videos out. Just, there were more early week stuff, but Title and me and a guy named Rubio, he's like a 7-foot munchkin. And we did our show. Uncle T and G Risen and me did the old people's show. Then we got just a million other things coming out. Just a cash. I did a cash show with Mangone and Hoop today. JT, we need to get you doing some more football stuff, buddy. I haven't done any football shows with you. Do you not play football?
I write. I wrote the Gem Finders article.
You're the Gem Finder person?
Yeah, I'm one of the Gem Finders. There's 3 of us. It takes a lot to put those things together. But I put out my article today about, let's see, it was the Raiders and the Patriots, the Vikings game, the Washington game, and then the Pittsburgh Steeler game. So, yeah, I put that out today.
Why is it legal to drink beer on this show but not take a bong hit? Seriously, serious question. Like, it's legal here in Colorado.
So I don't want to do a toast to the.
I don't get it.
Yep. Yeah.
Hold on, I'll be back in a second.
You gotta get something. Just make sure it's not a crack pipe.
It's not.
I was gonna say. We do. Everyone at home, whoever got their drink of choice to come in, you guys can be a part of this as well. I don't know what Holden's grabbing.
I'm gonna leave it. I'm not even gonna bother. It's all dirty. I gotta pour the water out. It's disgusting.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was everyone in chat. It was definitely a fun year. It was fun doing all this stuff. Everyone behind the scenes, like Uncle T doing the playbook and stuff. G Risen, a bunch of core plays. It was a great year. Hopefully, you guys made some money with us, and it was fun in chat having you guys here every day.
Great point on the manatees. Manatees are my favorite animal, and they too are in Florida, but they too are also prehistoric animals. So just know that, guys. And yes, I was never a communist. That's Mangone. Mangone is all for communism. He actually flies the sickle in his room. So just know that he's a sick individual. All right, Title. It's good. We'll still do some football stuff. I got JT. I'm definitely reading his Gem Finders. I do love those articles. I love Gem Finders. I like find a good gem here and there. I'm Holden, and for Captain back in the studio, I kind of feel like Captain's face needs to be put up here. I don't know how we do that, but Captain deserves a lot of credit. He's busting his ass back there. He's got another kid on the way. He's got like a posse of children. I think there's like 8 of them he has, and he's having a 9th now. So good job, everybody! Say congrats, Captain. There he is. What up, Captain? How are you, buddy?
He's like Pa from Little House.
Oh, he's on mute. He doesn't even know how to get his audio going. I can't even hear the point. There you go. Hey, who's your play tonight, Captain? Who's your big baseball play?
That team.
Play that team. Yeah, well, I gotta do one too. So I'll see you soon.
We'll still be doing baseball content in Discord and writing stuff all playoffs. So if you guys aren't, we might not have live shows. We might, but if not, we'll be in Discord giving out winners for sure.
Yeah. Just hit the Discord up, anyways, for football, for any sport that we have. Hit the Discord up for that. And then we just got a whole bunch of stuff going on. And then, do we have an optimizer? We don't have an optimizer. We do.
It's real. Yeah, it's been in session or been getting worked on. Captain, you can.
No, real men do their lineup by hand. Okay. JT, do you use an optimizer?
Some days.
Really?
to make 150, you gotta.
You have to in 150, right?
Shout out Jerker.
He showed me his notebook. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
We love Jerker.
All right. Listen, we'll go. I'll talk to JSU. We'll see if we get a little something going for you, even if it's a really quick show for the playoffs. So let me get on the horn with him. I'm sure it'll be a pain in his ass, but we'll figure it out. Maybe it'll just be Title doing it by himself. And you guys don't mind that. Do your lineups by hand too. Don't be lazy and use an optimizer. This is Run Pure Sports. We don't use optimizers.
I don't have all day long.
All right, guys. For captain
about wanting
Title
playbooks
and JT, it's wonderful. Hey, thanks to all you guys and ladies for watching. We love it. Stick with us for football season. We're already kicking ass there. The core plays will be out tonight and tomorrow. And you got are you throwing core plays up there, JT?
Yeah, I'll have a low-owned stack in the stack section.
All right. Low-owned stack. So you're going Jets. I love it. JT is going Sam Darnold, Josh Malone.
I said low-owned. I said low-owned, not no-owned. Low-owned.
Josh Malone's getting me 6 points this week. I'm loving it. I'm so excited for 3K. No, it's a horrible play. I'll still probably play it anyways. All right, guys. Take care. Bye-bye. Arf.
Good luck, guys.